Today is Tuesday, October the 25th. First order of business is approval of last week's minutes. I would entertain a motion from the committee to approve.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Under new business, item number 1, approval of minor public works contract with ST Bund Construction for asphalt repair, total $12,236.80. Selby, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a request for a minor proposed works contract with ST Bund for some asphalt repair work. This work is on MLK Boulevard, the north approach to 15th Street. We've got some defects in some of the asphalt in one of the through lanes there. This notification on this work came to us from a concerned citizen that just happened to be the mayor, and we didn't take any of the latter part of that into account. We appreciate his call to 3112. But it is work we absolutely needed to get done. Your packet includes the 3 quotes that were taken for getting this work done. ST Bund was the most economical, and that is what we are recommending for approval.
Is that heading from West Lawn to the schools to 15th?
This from, go ahead.
You said from the north.
From the
This
north.
is the northbound approach right at MLK and 15th Street. So
Okay.
you are coming from, you are approaching 15th Street from the north.
Okay.
So you haven't gotten across this, you haven't
Okay.
crossed 15th Street yet.
Okay.
And it's just the through lane there that we have this defect here. And your packet has a map showing that exact location.
How long is this? How long is the, I see it on the, how long is that strip?
That strip is about 220 feet, something approximately in there.
So moved,
And
Mr.
we've
Chair.
got some other
Second.
areas in there that you may notice, Counselor, as you're looking through that.
I do.
We're gonna be coming behind that with a resurfacing project later.
Gotcha.
But this is just work we needed to do more in the immediate.
Gotcha.
Got a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, authorization to execute amendment number 1 to the joint funding agreement between the city of Tuscaloosa and University of Alabama for Cribbs Mill Creek Railroad Corridor Drainage Study. Don't say that all in one sitting. Totals $20,000. Brian, welcome.
Thanks, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Brian.
Like I said, this is an amendment with the UA agreement for Duncan and Coper's study on the, what we call the railroad corridor drainage study. This is related to the flooding in McFarland, in the SAG, in McFarland by University Boulevard Bridge. And so we executed the original agreement last December. As part of the study, they took a deeper dive at the actual University Boulevard Bridge intersection on some of those drainage areas to kind of phase out the project, to kind of create phases for the project, for like a master plan of a larger project. And so the area, again, on the west side of McFarland at University Boulevard Bridge and at 13th Street, kind of near Whataburger, they did some detailed drainage study there as well. So that's what this is about. Any questions?
Questions? Entertain a motion
Yeah,
for
wait, I do have one. So Cribbs Mill Creek, that's not where I think of Cribbs Mill Creek, is that?
So there's several tributaries to Cribbs Mill Creek, and so like the one that goes through like Patton Lake, for instance, is Cribbs Mill Creek number 5. So the one that goes under, like through the railroad tracks at the law school, that's Cribbs Mill Creek number 1 and 2, I think, combining.
Okay. So
So
this is for that study all down that, from
The-
about McFarland, all down the track to around
The law-
Parkview?
yes, sir, that's right, yeah. Kind of the critical point is where the drainage punches through the railroad tracks, and there's a,
And where are we on the study? Brian?
20s era
Are we
culvert.
midway into it? Are we just beginning? Are we almost done?
we're almost done.
Well, wait, I don't have any other questions.
entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, Approval to amend minor public works contract with John Wayne Plumbing for the Tuscaloosa Police Department Mechanic Shop. Total is $9,850.50. Welcome, Craig.
Good afternoon, council. This, like it says, is amend the minor public works contract with John Wayne. When we came around the building at the TPD shop there, we, couldn't catch grade for the existing part of the lateral there, so we had to go a little bit further. It cost us to core a manhole and to fix a clean out cap that was also broken that we found while we were out there. And that's what the additional $9,850.50 is for.
Any questions?
I do, this is mostly for my learning curve. So when we get somebody to do a job like that,
Yes, sir.
they survey it, assess it, and give us a price?
They did, but the problem was is where it came out from under the building, where it was broken, they weren't able to get down there to give us a, survey there. And we also didn't know how deep we were gonna have to go to get out from under the building, where we brought it out behind the building instead of running it back up under the building. So when they came out, they had to get a little bit lower to come out from under the building. They ran it down beside the building. When they tried to come back, there was not enough fall there for us to connect. And there was also a known swag in the line right at that point. It's just where it has a dip in the line. It should all just be at grade, but, I guess maybe the building settled or something of that nature. And so they weren't able to catch that same grade on the other side. And if we had have connected back to it, we'd have been back out there having a lot of issues in the future. So the crews that were out there made the decision to go ahead and, run this a little bit further down, which of course added more pipe and more length to the project than we had initially put in for.
Okay. And where's the funding coming from?
It's coming from Gene's outside, or no, this was 3170. It's coming from, it's within budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moving second, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, approval to enter into minor public works contract with EMSS for lift station 30, pump 2 and motor repair. Total is $74.50. Welcome, Ron.
Yes, sir, thank you. This is just to rewind the motor and replace bearing seals, stators in a pump with electric motor sales and service. It is funded out of Fletcher's 4170. It's within budget.
Questions?
So moved.
So, Ron, where's it being paid from?
Capital repairs out of Fletcher.
Y'all got the money?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Second.
Moving second, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is approval to enter into professional engineering services agreement with CSL Service for long-term flow monitoring. Total is $139,920. Ron?
This is a contract that we've had with, it's 19 flow monitors and 5 rain gauges that are in place. They have been for the past 3 years. We're at the end of our 3-year renewable contract, so we're just asking to renew it for a further year, or 1 more year with options to renew afterwards.
And I asked the question that you and I corresponded about the difference in price. Wasn't it 4% increase
It was a 4%
over
increase.
what we're doing right now?
Yes, sir,
That's-
and that's the first increase since we've started this contract with them, or in this previous 3-year contract, that's the first increase.
But it's just for 1 year
Yes, sir, with the options to renew.
at the same price?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not bad. Questions? Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 6, authorization to award bid to John Plott Company for the build pedestrian bridge over Jack Warner Parkway. Contract total is $10,620,303.87. Tyler, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, council. So we opened bids for this project on October 4th. 3 weeks ago today, we had 2 bidders submit bids for it. The low bid was John Plott Company at $10,620,303.87. That is over our budget, fairly
How much?
significantly, about $4.5 million. So it's
Out of
fairly.
10?
What's that?
It's 4.5 million over out of 10?
That's correct. However, given that this is funded by the 2020 build grant, the conversation over whether to accept or reject or where we go next is a little more complex than a typical project is. So we wanted to bring it, we wanted to open the discussion and start talking about what we want to do from here, talk about options, risks.
So what are our options, Tom?
Right.
So we could award and find the money for it at this price. We could choose to reject and rebid with the same scope and hope that maybe in a couple months we get a lower price on it. That is unlikely to happen. Historically, that's not how it usually goes. We do have the option to reject and redesign or cut scope in some way to try and bring that price down. As far as staying within our grant compliance, those are really our options.
And what remind me the timeline to stay on track with our qualification for the federal portion?
Yeah, so the contract itself has a 30-day award period from the time that we open bids. That puts us at November 4th for when it has to be awarded. We did get notice from our contractor just before this meeting that he is willing to extend it for another 3 weeks to November 25th. That would mean we would need to, we don't have meetings November 15th. So we would need to either vote on it, if we were going to award it, we would need to vote on it by November 8th in Projects Committee, so it can be awarded November 22nd in City Council, or it could be doubled up on Projects and Council on the 22nd.
How does the agreement to do that affect the requirements of the grant with AlDOT and the grant? I mean, is that acceptable
Yes.
to wait? So
Yes, it is.
as long as we act as a council to make that deadline.
That's correct.
we're
If you're
good.
going to award it, if you're going to reject,
if we're
then
gonna
if we
reject, I
go
understand.
past that deadline, it's automatically rejected.
So,
yeah.
I've got a question, it's
Yeah.
probably a Scott question, and this also is my own learning curve. In a situation like this, if we don't vote to award it, is that the equivalent of voting to reject? Or
If-
that is a de facto rejection, correct?
Yes, sir. Here's how I intended to handle this today, without some sort of extension. Our timeline would be that this council would have to vote next Tuesday. And so if there was no motion, or if there was a motion and no second on this today, I would tell council that we plan to prepare a resolution rejecting all bids for next week, and we could talk about further if we needed to.
I would like another week
Absolutely.
to mull on this, and so we can continue this discussion if we can move it forward today, but
We just need to table it.
I think having
But
more.
I would also ask, Mr. Mayor, what we would be just having the discussion with options in the next
That's what
little
I'm
bit,
saying.
right? I mean, we
Right.
should be able to have some option discussions about this.
When would you want them presented to this committee?
I mean,
Next week, one day
can
next
we
week.
do it?
we,
Is it
we need to
doable
probably
next
start
week?
that discussion as soon as possible.
I think
Yeah.
we could present you options next week, and then if there's, assuming with the contractor, I'm glad to hear that.
That's good news.
Assuming, there's no issues with that, that should still leave us time to explore, even if you say, well, what about this option, to give us a little bit more time to build on what we present next week.
It sounds like if we talk about that next week, Mr. Mayor, we would have another week if we needed it to continue a discussion and maybe a vote on the 8th. And if we needed a little more time, we'd have to double it up.
On the
That's
22nd.
correct. So that, I mean, I think that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. I had to step
The-
out. I had to grab Selvin.
the-
Why are we
the-
tabling this?
The contractor's allowing us, what is it, just, we've got a little more
Well,
time.
we've got till November
to tell-
4th standard,
Correct.
and then the current, I guess low bidder is, I think giving us 3 weeks of wiggle room. It came in roughly $4.5
$4.5
million.
million over.
On a $10 million job, it's 4.5 over. So it's a,
So we want to figure out what
It's,
options can we have as well.
Okay, I'm not gonna say what I wanna say now. I'll say it to y'all later about why what I think maybe the explanation is for it going over.
Okay,
I don't wanna say it publicly.
Okay.
I'm about to make a motion to table for a
We're gonna
week.
table it for a week.
So we'll, assuming that passes, we'll be back on in a week, and then we've still got
And during that week,
compressed wiggle room.
Talk about it.
And Mr. Chair, in that
Yes.
week, is there any type of way that we could kind of communicate on what the options need to look like once we come back before our committee.
I would think, Mr. Mayor, we'd have something to kind of look at right for the agenda next week.
Yeah, my fear is, turnaround to get something in an agenda packet is 48 hours from now. I'm full scheduled, and so for me to figure, I'll try to have something in your packet. If not, I can email it to you maybe over the weekend when.
Would it be easier just to have a discussion, be ready for discussion on the first, and then we?
Yeah, but I don't want to surprise you with A, B, and C option, but, yes, we will be ready to discuss next week. I may not have a option table for you in your packet.
So we wouldn't have to vote, though, is what I'm saying. If you wouldn't surprise us, if we don't have to vote next Monday, or Tuesday, whatever, I'm sorry, next Tuesday, we don't have to vote.
I think as long as whether we accept or reject it, we just meet the 22nd deadline.
Yeah, we should be good with that.
Okay. Motion to table for 1 month.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
No.
For the record, again, we had
Your
another,
place is Matthews.
we had another erroneous vote for the committee. Do we need to count votes? I'd love to do that too. Call the vote. It passed. We're tabling for a week. Item number 7, authorization for a sublease between Charlie Davis and the U.S. Postal Service, ho ho ho, for holiday seasonal use of city property of the old Sunbelt equipment on Old Greensboro. Mr. Bobbin.
Good afternoon. We're gonna ask that this item be withdrawn. We were contacted by the realtor for the property owner on Friday afternoon, and the postal service has withdrawn that lease. So there will not be a seasonal facility here this year, apparently, so.
That's kind of Scrooge.
Yeah. What's been just stuff stored
I,
there in the past? or-
Probably.
well, they never used, I don't know that they've ever used that facility before. And-
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard it.
Really?
Good yard. So you want to, what was your request?
Withdraw it.
Withdraw it.
So moved.
Second.
Moved, seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The item is withdrawn. Any other business to be brought before this committee? Our next Public Projects Committee meeting will be held next Tuesday, November the 1st. I would entertain an important motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor